Hey everyone, it's Sylvia, your 2018 National Treasurer candidate, and no matter where you are in real estate, you would not have gotten there without great mentors in your life. So today I have some special guests joining me, and we're going to talk about mentorship and all that it means to them. So I'm going to pass the phone and let everyone introduce themselves because we are having some technical difficulties today. So here is Dawn.
Hi, I'm Dawn Lavka, the 2017 President Treasurer for the Women's Council Texas. Sheila?
Good morning, Sheila Moran. I'm 2017 President-elect of Women's Council for Texas and based out of New Braunfels, San Antonio area.
Good morning, I'm Gail Dunn, past officers, just helping now, and that's my main goal, is helping.
And we have a few other people that will probably join us. Hi, Quincy from Connecticut. So we're going to get started, and our first question is going to be for each person. Tell us how you got your start in real estate. You good for me to turn it around, or just let you do it yourself?
Oh, that's fine. So I got my start in real estate when I moved back to Texas after being gone for 15 years. And as a scientist with a master's in business, moved to a small town and decided when my broker at that point decided that real estate is something I should really do because we had such a difficult transaction to close for our own personal property.
And I started in real estate exactly 30 years ago this year. My dad was a broker for 45 years, and I started in his office basically keeping the books, running the office, paying out commissions and whatnot, and then got my license from there. So here I am.
I worked as a paralegal in law offices for years and saw the attorneys making money, but the ones that were doing the work weren't getting as much. So I decided that I wanted to go into real estate.
Okay. And I'll answer the question too. I started in real estate, actually working in high school, and I would answer phones for a real estate office and swore I would never become a realtor because they were very mean to me as a high schooler and trying to answer phones and book appointments and all of that. But here I am 20 years later, and I am working actively in real estate. So our next question is going to be, what is your number one tip? What is your number one tip to have what you consider an efficient day? So we're going to start backwards, and we'll start with Mom. What's your number one tip for an efficient day?
I think my number one tip for an efficient day is at the end of the day, have everything on my list done. My most important thing is calling people back. You call the day they call as soon as you can, and it just makes everything flow so much easier.
Yeah, my number one tip would probably be on my to-do list, seeing what I can delegate first to the different strengths in my office, and then from there just work on down my list. So whatever is left over, knowing that if I need to put it on to the next day or if it even needs to be scheduled for the following week, just making sure it gets done.
And I'd like to say I normally like to start my day the day before. So before I leave the office, say on Monday, I have Tuesday planned out, know what's going to happen, and leave time blocking in there to allow for those unforeseen instances that are going to happen in real estate.
I actually do something very similar, and if we weren't on my phone, I could show you that I have in my calendar, it pops up every day like this is going to be lead generation time, or this is going to be marketing time, or whatever it is, and my coach actually tells me if I hit that goal like at least 2 or 3 days a week, I'm better off than most realtors out there. So it makes me feel that I'm at least accomplishing something to get it done. So that helps me a whole lot. And we actually have Nancy is almost here to join us, but we're going to go ahead with our next question, and then we'll go back and get Nancy on board with us. Okay, everybody, with all your commitments between your volunteer duties, real estate, family, friends, etc., what tips and tricks do you have to share to keep the work-life balance in check? Who wants to start?
Okay, work-life balance in check. This is always a difficult one for all of us, especially in real estate as things get busy. So I would say probably my number one tip is every quarter do a getaway. Get away, do something, and then when you're back from that, if you haven't planned your next one, get it on the books so that you go.
Work-life balance. Let's see. So I plan out, I've got a yearly calendar that I have, plus I do everything online. And so I'll plan out the entire year, plan my family vacations first, the conferences that I know that I'm going to have to go to. So it's all set in stone, and then everybody is on the same calendar. I actually have a family calendar in addition to my office and staff having their own calendar. So that way we can plan accordingly to what needs to be done and where we get it. And as far as family life, my whole family's online, so I can delegate tasks and duties, even if I need the teenager to go make sure he picks up milk on the way home or something simple like that. So it's about getting everybody involved, but keeping it all on the same schedule, so I think that helps a lot.
Hi, I'm Nancy Garcia, Texas State President. Good nice. Work-life balance. How do I manage that? Actually, the ideas that the girls have said is exactly what I do as well. I do try to keep every personal appointment as an appointment, just like I would do as a client. So that way I can tell my company, my clients, my everyone that, you know, I do have appointments. So that's how I do it, and I appreciate the opportunity.
In November, we plan for the next year, and we have weekly, is when we can, when everybody's in town, we have weekly meetings, and we discuss, and everybody's on the same page about what we're planning. We plan family vacations or whatever from there. So it does take planning to have that time off. I think the best thing you can do is plan to be away. You get really, really busy when you're leaving because everybody comes out of the woodwork, but we need that personal time.
And similar to everyone else, I do the exact same thing. As everyone would be aware, like, campaigning is very, very busy, and we are all actually here in Dallas for our Texas State Texas Association of Realtors meetings, and combined with Women's Council. So this is part of our work-life balance. Literally, my kids will be coming down here at one point this weekend so I can see them, and as Gail, or my mom, said, it just happens. We put 2 under contract this week, and I'm trying to do an amendment last night with Dawn and Sheila, but that's how it works. You go out of town and you get more business. So even if you're not going to real estate conventions, plan a vacation, do something so that you actually boost your business. So our next one, let's see. Okay, so our main topic is mentorship, and I think mentorship is really a catchphrase that has gone around, because mentorship is, to me, is not necessarily having a mentor and a mentee. Mentorship is a two-way street. It's more of an exchange of value. So, for example, someone may teach me leadership skills, but in turn, I'm teaching them technology or something of that trade. So it's really an exchange of value. So when we use the word mentorship, really take heart that we're meaning an exchange of value. And so we all have many mentors in our life. That's why all these ladies are here, because they're all mentors to me. And so I thought that it would be great to have them talk about mentors in their life. So ladies, as I ask these questions, just think of one mentor for all the questions, and it can be whoever you want. And we will start, and we're going to start with my first mentor ever, my mom. So who would you say is your mentor, and how have they mentored you?
Well, I've got 2 that I really...
You can do 2, you're the mom.
Okay. When I first got into real estate, Jeanette Anderson, we went to lunch one day, and I said, hey, can I call you when I need something, or can I just sit down and discuss things with you? And she was absolutely wonderful about that, and to this day, we're still friends. The other one that I think of immediately is Belinda Epps, and I had started going to the Women's Council of Realtor meetings, and she called me one afternoon and she said, hey, I think we can get along. Would you be willing to be vice president? And I said, what? And so ended up, I started working for her as well. And to this day, if we run into something crazy, which is quite often, we're on the phone at night talking to each other about, well, what do you think?
All right, my mentor, I think my biggest mentors is my family, starting with my mother and my father. They provided me with my true north, my values, and I try to live my life with those values every day. And then, of course, that extends to my family. My kids keep me solid, grounded. And whenever I think I'm going to be a little bit full of myself, they will bring me down to reality. So yeah, I think everyone in my family. And then this year I've had the pleasure of working with so many dynamic leaders that, and they are my family too. So it's just a collaboration of networking and leadership and skills that I treasure with Women's Council.
Of course, Nancy just said it. Women's Council, there are a zillion mentors that I could name off the top of my hat, but if we're just talking about one or two, probably in my life, it's got to be my mother, who's got a very good sense of worth and a very good perspective on this life that we're all living. When it comes to business, it was always my dad, even though whatever he said, I would actually probably go do the opposite because him and I are so opposite. But it was always my dad that really taught me the basics. I do have a female version of my dad. Her name is Cheryl Fairbanks. She's with Remax Trinity here in Dallas, and she's always the one I would call just to get a female slant on it and exactly how would you handle this or how would you do that. So it's very important to have people that you can trust, that you can go to. I know I could name 5 of them that are probably sitting around me right now from Women's Council as well, but you'll find that you'll need them for different points in your life with different positions or different struggles that you're coming across. So they're so important.
And I would say I think everyone here has really hit the nail on the head with everything they've said, and I hate to be the one to kind of go back and say ditto. But when you're talking about family, of course, your family is obviously your roots and your, you know, as Nancy said, set your true north, and really establishes your roots. Family, friends. Of course, Women's Council, just people all over. Trying to think if there's anything else different, but you know, when I was working in pharmaceuticals in the lab, I had one mentor in particular, and she just said, Dawn, it doesn't matter what you're thinking or what your challenge is, the best thing you can do is just always go with your heart, because your heart knows what's right, and so follow that. So that's where I'm at. So back to you, Sylvia.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I was reading our question we have. So I have so many mentors in my life from many different areas, from even just like being a mom. There's people that have mentored me. But I think the obvious one to say and talk about is my mom, because she is sitting right here, that has been a big mentor to me. And there's one piece of advice she gave me in this Women's Council journey that I have shared. I probably have actually told each one of y'all. And that was that there are bad times in Women's Council. There are tough times that it's hard to get through, and you'll have those valleys, and so when you go home, don't gripe about them. Don't let your husband only hear the negative of Women's Council. Don't let him know that these people are catty or whatever, because that is the only thing that he will hear and he will ever think of this organization. So she told me, anytime that you need to vent, call me. Talk to me, vent to me, because I know the good side. He will never experience the good side if that's all he hears is the bad side. And that was probably the best advice in my leadership journey with Women's Council, because we do get bogged down and things happen, and it's not necessarily the prettiest at times, and we, as everything, if you're reviewing a restaurant, you're only talking about how bad it is. You never go back online and talk about how good the restaurant is. Typically, you only say the bad stuff. So that was definitely a life lesson for me. So our next question, unless we have others that pop up, or if someone wants to say something, is if you could say thank you to your mentor right now, or one of your mentors, what would you say to them? And so, since I have the phone, no, I won't start. I'll go at the end. Who wants to start?
I'll start. Probably to most of the mentors, and I know I've said this before about Women's Council, is I always said thank you. Thank you for taking the time, spending money on me, spending time and energy, and helping me develop myself. Because without those mentors to help guide me, I probably would not be here with you today.
You're gonna make us all cry.
I know.
I know.
Things can be funny.
I can't be funny. I am the crybaby of the bunch, so this is what I would say to my mentors is thank you for believing in me. Thank you for constantly telling me that I'm okay, and to breathe, and to believe in what I'm doing and keep that course. So that's what I would thank my mentors for.
And I'm going to kind of say the same thing. It's thank you for believing in me. Thank you for spending the time. Thank you for your wise words, and thank you for your input, even when you didn't know it was being listened to.
A big thank you. I learned so much from Women's Council, and it is just the relationships is what it's all about. And along the way, we say thank you, and we really, truly mean it. But it's just the bond that we have with our mentors, and we can call each other no matter what time it is. They're family, and that's what we turn to.
Okay. So if I could say thank you to my mentor, I'm just going to say thank you because I have 4 of them right here. And I think they've all mentored me in different areas of my life, and they don't know. I know I've referred to my mom several times, and I wouldn't even be here without her. So that's first and foremost. So thank you for giving me life. I think I get my attitude from my dad, so I think that's probably... thank you for not killing me as a teenager, and thank you for allowing me to serve Women's Council and to be on this journey. I don't think a lot of people know, gosh, why did you start with the tears? I don't think a lot of people know that the sacrifices that I have made to travel, and more importantly, the sacrifices that my family has made. That's from, my kids, my husband, my mom, which is my business partner, and picking up the pieces while I'm gone and can't be there. So thank you to all of you for that. Let's see. Y'all aren't going to be able to look at me. Sheila, thank you for being my baby. I don't think, this wasn't supposed to be emotional. Sheila, when I was state president, she was one of my local presidents, and we didn't really know each other, and we got to know each other through that process, and is now one of my best friends. She's like a sister. My mom's adopted her, so she's definitely a sister, and her sister is my sister. Thank you for being my baby, and I am so proud to... Sheila will be installed as our state president this weekend, and it's an honor to have one of my own be up there because I believed in her, and she's amazing. So, okay, I need something funny. Nancy is our current state president, and she's trying to show me something to make me laugh.
It's really funny.
Okay. So Nancy was also, you were my governor, right? District vice president, governor. I can't remember. It's been too many years. Nancy has taught me that not everything has to be so serious. You can laugh at life. And as she just showed me a meme to make me laugh. And you have to laugh. You have to laugh in Women's Council. You can't take everything so seriously. It's it's a journey. All of Women's Council is a journey, and even after 20 years of serving Women's Council, I'm still on that journey. I'm still learning who I am. I'm still becoming who I am. And part of that is the humor and the ability to just like say, hey, Nancy, let's go have lunch. Because we are local, and we can, just laugh and not have to take life so seriously. Dawn.
I'm afraid of this.
Dawn.
You're going to be crying, Dawn.
Dawn and I have a different relationship. Everyone's like, I feel like I should turn the screen on you. Dawn was going to be my treasurer and had to step back for personal reasons and could not serve with me. And it was hard. It was very hard as a well, I guess the thing I didn't say is when I was state president, I was the youngest state president, so I felt that there was always judgment on me, always. And I think there's always judgment on you when you're in that position, but I felt extra pressure because I was the youngest and everyone kept pointing it out. To me, age is just a number, it doesn't matter. And so when Dawn had to resign, it was very difficult to get through that process and rebuild a team when our team was in essence broken. And luckily, Dawn has been able to come back, and the thing I appreciate most about Dawn is her perseverance, and that she was able to come back after a brief stint. And that's Women's Council, y'all. That's being able to come back home when you're ready and you need to. And that's also Women's Council, us allowing her to have that time. So for Dawn, I think it's your perseverance and coming back. And of course, I love that Dawn's a numbers person like me. And so we totally see eye to eye on all the numbers. And I love it when she calls me and asks me questions about the books or whatever, because I am that kind of weird one that likes numbers. So that's all does anybody have anything else you want to say, or does I have a wrap up? You have anything? Okay, so I just want to encourage you. This was obviously a little tearjerker, which I didn't really mean for that to be a tearjerker, but there's so much going on in the world. All of us being in Texas, we've seen humanity at its best in the past couple weeks, and so I want to encourage you to go out and thank those people that have been mentors to you. Tag them on this. You don't even have to say anything. Just let them know that you appreciate them, because I guarantee you 99% of the time they don't even know that they've had any impact on your life. So let them know, because there's so much negativity and all of that going on in the world. So let them know that you appreciate them. All right, so that's all I have to say. Anybody else want to sign off, say anything?
Bye. Thank you, Sylvia, for the opportunity.
Yeah, loads of fun being with you guys. If you ever have a chance, make sure that you bring up forth the next generation. Always be a mentor.
Yeah, and you're welcome to Texas. Come visit.
Thanks for having us, Sylvia. I appreciate it. I am going to take a moment to say something. I do want you to vote if you're able to vote for Sylvia. She is my daughter, but above and beyond that, she has helped put the new organization, the network system together. She has been in the trenches with the executive committee and strategic partners, and she really knows it. I can fully see why they want her to be there. The mother part of me would like to have her here working, but I know that's what she needs to do. Thank you.
Okay, join us next month, and we will be doing our last Facebook Live session, and it'll be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for more details about it.